And welcome to this year's Citizen of the Year celebration. My name is Amy Spear. I'm the president of the Vermont Chamber of Commerce. For over 50 years, the Vermont Chamber has honored an outstanding Vermonter as the Citizen of the Year. This award is presented to an individual who has made major contributions to the betterment of Vermont, has been distinguished through outstanding service to their community and region, and epitomizes the true spirit of service and self-sacrifice in representing the finest ideals of Vermont citizenship. This evening, we are honored to present the 2024 Citizen of the Year Award to Thomas A. Dee, President and CEO of Southwestern Vermont Medical Center. But I think everyone that's here tonight knows that Tom is much more than that. His visionary leadership has bolstered development and growth both at the hospital and in the community. Tonight, you'll hear about many of Tom's extraordinary qualities, but his leadership style that you will see woven into everything he does and continues to do for Vermont will be ever present. I would like to take a moment to recognize the generous sponsors of this evening's event. RK Miles, the Richards Group, Casella, Farrell Distributing, Southwestern Vermont Medical Center, Mack Molding, the Putnam Redevelopment Group, and Bennington Banner. Tom is an incredible champion for Vermont. For 14 years, his unwavering dedication and visionary leadership have significantly improved the local economy and elevated community healthcare standards. He embodies the finest ideals of Vermont citizenship and has made remarkable contributions to Southwestern Vermont and beyond. Tonight, we are joined by a collection of leadership laureates who will celebrate Tom's exceptional leadership and commitment to community. Serving as our Master of Ceremonies, I'd like to introduce Kathy Fisher, Chair of the Southwestern Vermont Medical Center Board of Trustees.
Needless to say, we're here tonight to honor a very remarkable person. Thomas put heart and soul into improving the quality of healthcare and the quality of life in Southern Vermont, while also taking visionary steps to ensure that excellent healthcare will be sustainable in the decades to come. Now, as board chair, I'm going to focus only on what he's done at the hospital, but as you heard, he's done a lot more. You're going to hear from my colleagues about what he's done for Bennington, for the state of Vermont, for the broad Vermont community. It's really quite impressive because this man never sleeps. In his 14-year tenure heading SVHC, Tom has transformed a small rural hospital into a thriving, patient-focused organization that punches far above its weight. The hospital has won many national awards. I'm not going to list them all. They're in our publications or on our website. There are a lot of them, and the one we're particularly proud of is 5 consecutive designations as a magnet center for nursing excellence. A very, very, very big deal. Now, this isn't easy because, as you all know, delivery of healthcare has become much more challenging in recent years due to rising costs, staff shortages, lots of other issues. But Tom has focused relentlessly on meeting the needs of Vermonters, especially among the elderly and vulnerable populations, and on ways to find solutions. Now, much of Tom's energy in recent years has gone to what we call Vision 2020, the program to expand and renovate the hospital's emergency department, which is now nearly complete, and to create a new state-of-the-art cancer center. Tom's goal of giving our patients and our healthcare providers the facilities they deserve and they need has inspired incredibly generous support from our donors in order to make that possible. And given Tom's understanding of the socioeconomic factors that really affect population health, he's also played a vital role in the redevelopment of downtown Bennington, and you're going to hear a lot about this from Stuart Hurd. I'll mention here that SVHC purchased the Southern Vermont College property when it was on the auction block to ensure that its eventual use would become a benefit to the community. Under Tom's leadership, the property is under contract to a very well-regarded developer who will transform it into a high-end resort, creating jobs and bringing visitors with money to spend into the community while still maintaining access for all to the trail system on the property that's so beloved in Bennington. As importantly, Tom has positioned SVHC for the vastly different healthcare environment that's expected in the decades to come. In 2023, the board agreed that SVHC should become a member hospital of the Dartmouth Health System, as we concurred with Tom's view that linking with this world-class academic medical center would help SVHC deepen and broaden the medical services that can be offered right here in Bennington. And you'll hear more about that from Steve LeBlanc. So I've given you a very brief list of some of Tom's tangible accomplishments at SVHC. But what I haven't adequately conveyed is why it happened. It happened because of Tom. It happened because of his totally inspirational leadership, the incredible commitment he shows. He works 24/7 to make sure that SVHC fulfills its mission of providing excellent, sustainable healthcare in our area. He has a remarkable team of dedicated professionals who share his vision, his mission, his commitment, his passion for achieving that goal. Leading by example, Tom inspires everyone to do more and be better. So Tom, on behalf of the board, I have to thank you so much for all you have done for healthcare in Southern Vermont. And to start getting into other aspects of the incredible wonderfulness of Tom, I'm going to turn this podium over now to Steve LeBlanc. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. I'm Steve LeBlanc. I'm the Chief Strategy Officer for the Dartmouth Health System, but also a member of the board of SVMC. It's a real privilege for me to be here and to participate in honoring Tom as Vermont Citizen of the Year. I first met Tom about 14 years ago, not long after he became CEO of Southwestern Vermont Medical Center. He drove up to Dartmouth Hitchcock Medical Center in Lebanon to introduce himself. And I always remember, Tom, you saying you believed in the benefits of integrated health systems. Being able to better coordinate care for patients across the continuum of clinical services that they may need, the ability to build programs in the local community that are linked to regional and national centers of excellence, and then being able to have some scale, right? Whether that be access to certain expertise across a larger health system, being able to purchase as a larger group to save costs and pass that on to patients, and simply to weather difficult times. And as many of you know, healthcare is challenging today, especially for independent rural hospitals. And given the demographics in northern New England can be a real challenge. But at the time when Tom and I first met, Dartmouth Health was in its infancy as a health system. It was comprised of the Dartmouth Hitchcock Medical Center in Lebanon and Dartmouth Hitchcock Clinic, which had developed some major ambulatory group practice sites in Concord, Manchester, Nashua, and Keene. We had looser partnerships with a number of hospitals in New Hampshire and Vermont through the New England Alliance of Health, but we didn't begin having other hospitals join the health system until 2013. So in many ways, Tom's vision back in 2010 was further developed than what Dartmouth Health was ready for at the time. So we started our partnership through a series of incremental steps. We jointly created the Putnam Group Practice structure, which has grown to 150 plus provider multi-specialty group practice based at SVMC. We began to integrate cancer services and quality programs, and the organizations were getting to know each other, and strong relationships were being built across many services. One of the great successes was developing a broad array of telehealth services, enabling DHMC specialists to help support SVMC's capabilities to keep more of the care its patients needed in the local community. These initiatives and partnerships would not have happened but for Tom's vision, persistence, and commitment to SVMC and to meeting the needs of its community and its patients. And finally, in 2023, SVHC became a part of the Dartmouth Health System, and we couldn't be more pleased or more proud of our relationship. Many organizations join large health systems because they are struggling. That was not the case with SVMC. Under Tom's leadership, SVMC had earned multi-year magnet hospital status, as Kathy mentioned. Consistently were rated high quality by CMS over the years, 4-star ratings and above, while also maintaining strong financial health and investing in community needs and community development. But Tom was always thinking about and planning for the future. The healthcare system in our country is fragile. And so he knew that being part of an integrated health system would put SVMC in a stronger position to face these ongoing challenges. And likewise, Dartmouth Health is better positioned with SVMC as a member. Finally, I want to say what a pleasure it is for me personally to work with Tom. He's not only SVHC's leader, but he is also a highly respected health system leader, both in Vermont and across the Dartmouth Health System. And he is helping shape the direction of Dartmouth Health for the future. He is incredibly thoughtful and collaborative, and most importantly, he is focused on continuing to ensure that SVMC is strong and able to serve the needs of its community for decades to come. Congratulations, Tom, on being named Vermont Citizen of the Year. The honor is well deserved. I'd like to now introduce Stuart Hurd, Town Manager for the Town of Bennington.
Tom, congratulations, and thank you, Scott. When I came to Bennington in 1973, Putnam Memorial Hospital was the little hospital on the hill. I was young, and like many people who are young, I never really gave healthcare a thought. As I have aged and hopefully matured, I've watched the hospital grow and expand. It is now the largest employer in Bennington. It has become a tremendous asset to our community in so many ways. Now known as Southwestern Vermont Health Medical Center, it offers many health and health-related services. It has care facilities throughout Bennington County. Under the leadership of Tom D., it has continued to expand its offerings. Some of them have already been mentioned, an expanded and state-of-the-art cancer center, a state-of-the-art emergency department. It is now part of the Dartmouth Health Systems. It is an award-winning facility with award-winning staff, and that's incredibly important. Under Tom's leadership, SVMC has become an integral and important participant in the community. Its staff have worked with the town to help bring the Berkshire YMCA to Bennington, thereby helping us improve our recreational programs for the entire community. Its staff have served on the board of Project Alliance, which is a consortium of social service agencies, the town, its police department, and the hospital. And we're working on the opioid crisis and now the housing crisis, because they affect so many of the vulnerable populations in our community. Under Tom's leadership, the Hospital Corporation became a primary partner in the Putnam Block Phase 1 redevelopment. This is a renovation of 3 historic structures in the downtown. It was a massive undertaking, but it was an undertaking worth doing, and we appreciate the hospital's participation, and it is helping to revitalize downtown Bennington. And we understand the hospital will continue to participate in phase 2 of the undertaking and work with us to help complete that project, which ultimately will bring not only health services, but residential opportunities and business services to our downtown. Very, very much needed and a very substantial investment. And finally, under Tom's leadership, and I know this has been mentioned, the purchase of Southern Vermont College campus at auction. This property, containing a National Register historic structure, the Everett Mansion, which is where we are today, was unfortunately, when the college closed, become available. The hospital stepped up and did the purchase. It prevented this beautiful asset from perhaps falling into hands where it might be degraded or misused. And we appreciate that assistance and that dedication. And now you have found a buyer who will turn this property into a premier hotel complex, which will create this as a destination asset for Bennington, but also allow Bennington to thrive. And we appreciate that so much, Tom. So thank you, Tom. Thank you for your leadership, and thank you for your service to the community. And now I'd like to turn the mic over to Mike Del Treco, who is the president, if I can get this right, president and CEO of the Vermont Association of Hospitals and Health Services. How'd I do?
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, and Stuart, thanks so much for the introduction. And thank you all for having me here today to help celebrate the incredible achievements and contributions of Tom D. Tom is a profound leader who not only has made an exceptional difference to Southwestern Vermont Medical Center and the surrounding community, but he's been instrumental in shaping healthcare reforms and policies that protect Vermonters and strengthen our entire state economy. When I met Tom back in 2009, my first thought as he leaned in to introduce himself was, wow, this guy is super tall. He instantly made an impression on me. Maybe it was his towering presence. But I quickly learned that he is a person full of integrity, strong character, and someone who deeply values the people around him, most especially his family. As you all know, Tom is a unique and highly effective leader. He has a wonderful blend of strategic, thoughtful, and diplomatic qualities. He always has his eye on what is best interest of this community that he serves and the broader healthcare system throughout Vermont. It's a distinct pleasure to work alongside Tom in his role as a member and leader on the VAS board. In this role, and in a room full of other hospital leaders, Tom is a giant. Of course, I mean this both literally and figuratively. But he's not the loudest voice. He does not command the most amount of time. He's not prone to long speeches. And he does not have any grand statements. He leads with conviction and clarity, and when he does weigh in, it's deeply powerful and always moves us forward. At VAS, our work is advocacy. Having Tom, the very best advocate for what is right and necessary for healthy communities, has made a difference not only here in Bennington County, but in every corner of Vermont. Tom was instrumental in getting hospitals over the finish line to participate in the all-payer model, which was one of the first comprehensive movements in the country towards value-based care. Tom is a trailblazer too. Today, it's not so uncommon for hospitals to talk about the need to invest in initiatives like housing and transportation and community-based resources. In fact, it's expected. Tom and his team, and many of you in the broader Bennington community, were investing in revitalizing your downtown by renovating and preserving access to homes to address housing needs long before it was cool or expected. So thank you for setting an example and leading the way. In every community, there are individuals who stand out for their contributions. Tom is, of course, one of those people. He manages complex issues, meets every challenge with grace, and fully recognizes what it takes to improve community. He understands what a vibrant community means to the families that live and work in Vermont and makes it a point to bring that forward every day. But what sets our honoree apart from not only his actions and the things that he's done is his ability to effectively bring people together. Tom has a gift of uniting individuals. He fosters a sense of purpose and camaraderie that makes it possible, the most challenging projects possible as we look into the future. I know Tom is a passionate leader, a family man, and someone always working on making things better. Bottom line is the world needs more people like Tom. Tom, I know I speak on behalf of the hospital community and so many others across Vermont when I say thank you for sharing your wisdom as well as your gift of time and energy over the years. Vermont and Vermonters are most certainly better for it. Tom, you are truly inspirational. Congratulations on this well-deserved award. And I turn it back to Kathy.
Thank you. I think it's pretty clear why Tom has been given this award. I just think, let's just clap right now before I even start, right? You know, the Chamber has given an award for many years for those who have gone well above and beyond in doing everything they can selflessly to better Vermont. And I can't think of anyone more than Tom D. who has done this. And we are humbled by what you have done, Tom. So I am delighted now to be able to hopefully pick up this award and give it to you. All right. Okay, I'm going to put it here. Since you can't see it in the back, it says, Citizen of the Year presented to Tom Dean, recognition of your outstanding service to your community and state, Vermont Chamber of Commerce, August 1st, 2024. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll take it. This is quite a paperweight here, so let me, maybe I'll put it over here. I'll do it.
Anyone wants an arm workout?
Okay. Well, thank you, Kathy. Thank you for those comments and your leadership, and certainly Steve and Stu and Mike, your very kind and generous comments. You guys have all been great allies and a pleasure to work with. I've been very blessed. And especially a special thanks goes out to Amy and your team from the Chamber. I said they're the A-team here today. They did a great job putting this together, so thank you very much, everyone. You know, I must admit, I'm both a little embarrassed and sheepish about this recognition. And that's not false modesty. It's really heartfelt. There are really so many other people who I've met who have had an amazing impact on Vermont over a much longer tenure of time than I've had. But I am incredibly grateful and appreciative of this recognition. And I'm accepting this recognition tonight really on behalf of the many others who have worked tirelessly for this region and haven't been recognized. And you know, sometimes we kind of think of the Southern Vermont area as the forgotten part of Vermont. So for those people who've done a great job, and the list is long and you know the names, I want to thank them for their efforts. You know, I have to admit, I'm also a little blown away that I've been here for almost 15 years. You know, it's really, I discovered during my interview process that this was a very different and special place. I was actually a very late addition to the interview at Southwestern Vermont Medical Center. The board actually had their top candidate. I was kind of a dark horse add-on, and after I came, in the process, I had to come back here 5 or 6 times, and actually I had to meet with 200 people during that period of time. So this was an endurance test. This was a Vermont Strong test, I guess. But what I discovered really was that there is really a great place here. The people were amazing, and I came on board during, it was kind of some dark days. It was a tough time for the health system, and I knew I was involved with a turnaround at the health system. We'd lost a lot of money for a couple of years, and we actually had laid off about 100 people, so it was not the best of times. But I also quickly discovered that the town was going through kind of a turnaround situation too. And after we were able to stabilize things with our great team effort, I quickly got kind of sucked into community-wide challenges that were taking a lot of time. But what I also discovered very quickly was amazing collaboration by the leadership. People who kind of just stepped up on every issue. And these are the Jim Browns of the world, the Bill Colvins, Stu and Dan Monks, and people like Matt Harrington. When we had our whole state delegation involved here. And community leaders like Dimitri Garter, business leader, and Dave Newell, and Don Kendall of MAC, and community people who were retired, Tony and Jackie Morrow, Lorna Matter, and all people that, and there's many, many, many more. And so I always take the risk of mentioning names because there's scores and scores of people who were involved with us. And that's what makes Bennington a pretty special place. I mean, I came out of New York, and I liked New York, and as a Mid-Hudson guy, but we never had this type of buy-in, this type of people working for a common cause. And this group did it. And I actually, I was just one voice, and there was a lot of voices who were spending a lot of time. So I was very, very fortunate to work with this group, and the town is very fortunate to have them. And I'm really so glad tonight to be here at this historic structure. In many ways, I think it reflects the transformation that Bennington's going through here. Once this property is restored, the same way once we continue to restore the town, this will be a jewel. This will be a very, very special place. And the property owns a special meaning to the hospital. I think, as many of you know, Edward Everett, who had this place built, was a stepson of our hospital founder, Henry Putnam. So we always felt the kindred spirit for this property. And the future new property owners, and a couple are here tonight, the Alfred Wiseman real estate team. I know Michael and Joe are here. Their vision is to convert this facility, this property, into a 5-star destination resort. And ultimately, Bennington will not be a bypass community. Bennington will be more of a destination community, and this will be a linchpin to making that happen. So I would be remiss if I didn't just mention about SVHC and SVMC, our parent and hospital. We're a small health system, but as Kathy just mentioned, we always seem to punch above our weight class. We do, I think, some amazing things. And our health system is led by our board. And those in the business world understand the importance of board leadership. In the non-for-profit world, it's fiduciary leadership. And I've been in a lot of hospitals. I've been around for 42 years, a long time. I have Doug York here. I used to work with Doug back in the Hudson Valley in Westchester. And we have a tremendously gifted and talented group of people here that I'm really amazed by. It's the best board I've ever seen. I've seen some very good boards. So I think the people in this community should be very, very happy and appreciative of what we have here. But, you know, the health system is made up of many individuals, and our group of physicians and associate providers. I mean, I don't think you realize how good they really are. And these physicians certainly could go to any academic center across the country, and they would, you know, have a major role there. But we have them here because they want to be here to provide the care and also to live a way of life that I think is we all want to live. So we are really fortunate to have them here. And we have as Kathy said, we have a nationally recognized nursing service. I'm telling you, folks, there is no better nursing service in the country. And and I have the pleasure to work with a group of executives here that, you know, just are very talented, very committed. And again, that group could go to any hospital and make that hospital better. And we have them here in Bennington, and we're so blessed, and we have a management team that's very similar to that. And of course, we have an extremely dedicated and patient-centered staff. So we have a lot here. You know, I'm certainly a basketball fan from years back and former player. And I'm always a big fan of John Wooden, who's a legendary coach of UCLA. And Wooden has many pearls of wisdom. If you read his books, they're unbelievable. But, you know, one of his things that I've always paid attention to, he says that always strive to find people who are smarter and more talented than you. Listen to them and give them room to operate. And that's kind of been that's been something I've used my entire life in terms of the business world. Actually, I first used it when I would ask my wife to marry me. And it worked then, and it's worked everywhere I've gone because, you know, I understand my deficits, which are many, but with the collective group of talent that we have here, we can do amazing things, and I think that's why we are doing some amazing things. This is not about Tom D. This is about the group that we have here, and it will be getting stronger and stronger long after I'm gone. So, again, I think we've accomplished things that very few hospitals of our size have accomplished. And now that we're partnering with Dartmouth-Hitchcock, we have, you know, a national and international leader to work with. And that's going to allow us to go to the next level. We're going to raise the bar higher and higher because, you know, we have that team, we have the resources and the intellectual capital that will allow us to go to special places. So I'm excited about that. And finally, I want to make sure that, just make a comment. Let's not be our own worst enemy here. You know, I hear too many people who say that, you know, one needs to leave Vermont, and specifically Bennington, to make a life. And I will tell you, I will strongly disagree with that. Came here 14 years ago, and not expecting a lot, and again, I was blown away quickly. And I came here with my wife and our 5 kids. And yeah, initially they left. The kids went to Boston and LA and New York and the Capital Region, but they all came back. So they came back, their spouses, they've gotten married, they have spouses, and they've had kids. And all of a sudden the multiplier effect's starting to happen. And I think, you know, and they're making it work in the new world economy. You know, the gig economy is working. And they're making beautiful lives here. And they're enjoying Vermont and enjoying what Vermont has to offer. And there's a lot to offer here. But you have to come with the mindset and the openness to really enjoy it. And so we need to promote Vermont. We need to promote the city. We can't talk down about Bennington because we don't do ourselves justice. And so in closing, you know, again, I want to thank the Vermont Chamber for their recognition and their, you know, and also helping us to tell our story here. They're a great team. Amy's doing her job about probably a month or 2, so it's great to have you. Betsy Bishop was her predecessor, did a great job, and Amy's picking the ball up and running. So thank you, Amy, and your team, which did a wonderful job here. But I want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank you for your support, and most important, I want to also thank you for your friendship. Please keep the faith, because we are going in the right direction, and the journey is just starting. So thanks for being part of the journey, and enjoy the rest of your evening. I have to apologize, because I do have to leave early. There's a community meeting at the firehouse I had to be at, and they wouldn't change the time. So if you see me, I'm not bolting from the party or anything. I'm not going to go somewhere. But I want to let you know that I really appreciate you all being here tonight, and for your support. And take care. Thank you.
I just want to echo Tom's sentiments and thank everybody for coming to join us in celebrating a community giant here this evening. You really are a stalwart champion in advancing the Vermont economy, and we're lucky to have you. It's a privilege to give you this award, and I just want to let everybody enjoy the evening while we have you before you have to go to that community meeting. But thank you again, everybody, for attending and joining us in celebrating Tom and his wonderful work for Vermont. Thank you.